guys, I'm Bree and welcome back to Bree's World. This week we'll actually be talking about my 6th week of recovery from rotator cuff surgery. Now, if you haven't been here before, there are a few ground rules. The first ground rule is make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can also hit the bell at the bottom so that you're notified each time that I post a new video. Well, that's it for ground rules. First, I'll be doing a recap of last week. Then I'll update you on my progress as far as movement goes and my first week of physical therapy. And if you stick around to the very end, you'll have a chance to view my new workout routine that I learned this week. Well, let's get to it. So last week I gave you the general update. I kind of let you know how far I can move my arm actively, that means without help, and how far I could move my arm passively, which means with help. I also showed you what type of creams and butters I use on my scars to help them heal well, and I just gave you an up close view of them to show you what they're looking like so far. And of course I'll be doing the same thing this week. So as far as movement goes, last week I was able to move my arm actively, which means on my own, about this far out. Now, as far as passive goes, I was able to move my arm about this far. And that was actually really good for my doctor. He cleared me to go to physical therapy super early, 2 weeks early to be exact. And on top of that, he cleared me to go ahead and let my arm out of the sling for about 2 to 3 hours a day. Now, let's go ahead and move on to this week. So this week I have so much to tell you all. And it's not all good news like it was last week. So let's go ahead and start with how far I can move my arm actively and passively. So actively, I'm actually doing really well. I can actually move my arm to here actively. I can reach out here. I can do some things here. I can do some things here. Ow! But that's all I got. Now, as far as passive motion goes, I don't believe I got any better. Honestly, I think I got worse. I think that the more I got to move my arm in physical therapy, the tighter it got for me to be able to just move it with help of my more dominant arm. So if we'll remember, I could move my arm way further than this. Way further than this. So this week I'm about, I want to say close to the same. I'm feeling like it's a little bit less, but that's how far I'm able to move my arm up and down passively. Again, I'm here actively. I can do some stuff like this. I can do this, and I can do this. Ow! But ultimately, I got more movement but less range of motion, and I'm not sure why that is. So moving on to what my scars look like. I think my scars are actually healing up really well. Of course, you know I'm going to take a step closer so that I can see you. So I have actually 4 ports of where they entered my skin in. So I have here, I have here, I have here, and then I have one back here in the back. So these 2 here, they are healing up pretty well. They're pretty much closed. One of my little staple things is all the way gone. Then this ugly one, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But this ugly one is still here. It's now like my skin complexion, but it is a little raised, not so bad, which I'm very thankful for. When I ripped my arm, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a little dent in the skin, and I don't really like that. But this one in the back, it's healing up really well. It's flat. Once it changes colors, it should be perfectly fine. So I'm really happy with the outcome. I'm continuing to add like cocoa butter, aloe vera gel, and then I did find some vitamin E. I didn't really find any vitamin E that was organic though, to be quite frank. It's actually pretty hard to find. Now, as far as physical therapy goes, I had an amazing time. I mean, I had a great time from start to finish. First, I want to talk about the staff there. When you walk into Emory's 5 East Station's physical therapy department, you're greeted with the 2 most wonderful women. You're going to be greeted by Kay, and you're going to be greeted by Sheila. They're going to check you in with all smiles and laughter. And then you'll get a chance to meet your physical therapist. But my physical therapist, her name is Nicole. Now, Nicole is super cool. She's actually a woman of color, and she is super funny. She's educated, and on top of that, she knows her shit. And like I said about Michelle in my last video, I love women who know their shit. So I had a great time at physical therapy, and here's what we pretty much did. So when we actually got a chance to sit down and talk, first we went over like a few basic rules, like how my pain was doing from 1 to 10, how much pain have I been in, what type of things I could do, and I'm gonna tell you nothing because it's the truth. We also did a grip test, which is something that I'm not too proud about. I've actually been using my hand while I've been weaker, I want to say, but it really didn't do anything for me. So when I got a chance to do the grip test, I was able to grip about 50 pounds in this hand and then only 15 in this hand. So if you're looking at me now, make sure that you use your ball. Learn from me. Make sure that you use your grip ball. It probably comes with your sling as soon as you get out of surgery. Once I got done with like all of the little questions and the tests, then we moved on to the exercises. So we started off with pendulums, and I'll be showing you an example of each exercise at the end, but for now I'll basically just be telling you about it. So we started off with pendulums, and we did them front and back, we did them left to right, we did them clockwise, and we did them counterclockwise. After that, we worked on the pulley, and basically we pulled my arm up and down for 3 minutes just so we could stretch it out. And lastly, as far as exercises goes, we actually did some table slides. So we did basically 180-degree table slides, so that's straight forward and straight back, and then we did 45-degree table slides, which are kind of your body staying straight but your arm moving out to the side a little bit. Now after that, which is my favorite part of therapy, Nicole actually got a chance to kind of stretch out my arm. She does this thing when she pulls on your arm, and it feels so good, and I don't even know what it is, but it feels so good. And then she definitely like moved my arm in different motions that I wasn't able to do. Now, I haven't really experienced any pain throughout this process, just some at night and very slight. And I really haven't experienced any pain at physical therapy either. Now, what I hear on the streets is that if you do experience pain within physical therapy, it should not be greater than the pain that you have already experienced coming out of surgery. So take your word from me. Physical therapy does not hurt, and it should not hurt, according to what I know, Wikipedia, Google, and my friend Nicole, my physical therapist. Anyways, ultimately, I went Tuesday and I went Thursday. On Thursday, she introduced one more exercise, and that was pretty much using a 1-pound weight to lift my arm up here, and then using the weight to kind of turn left to right, left to right. Now, there's so many muscles in your arm that you don't really know about, and to be quite frank, when you have your arm every day, you really take it for granted. So I'm learning. It's a slow process. I'm happy that I could do this, and I'm happy that I could do this, and I'm happy I could do this. So we're getting there. Now, if you want to know how to do these exercises, make sure to stick around for the next part of the video. If you already know what those exercises are now, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and deuces. All right, guys, so I'm back, and guess what? I got plenty of goodies here. Plenty of goodies. Now, I did obtain these from my physical therapist session, but I'm very sure that you could probably find these items on Amazon or eventually me. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move into the exercise routine. So first, I want to start off with some of that easy stuff. Remember I said that I had a hard time with my grip test because I lost my ball and I didn't care because I thought if I was holding a cup or I was picking up my keys that it would be okay, and it wasn't. Well, guess what I got? I actually got a little bit of slime, the therapeutic kind. So the little slime came in this container, and it looks like this. And it's actually, I want to say Royan Therapy Putty. Is 2 ounces and it's green, clearly. What she did, which kind of, I ain't gonna lie, it definitely made me kind of want to be able to control my arm more, because my arm has been in the sling. I've been doing this. So people be saying, hey girl, I be like, hey, they be like, bye, I be like, bye. Or if I'm grabbing something, I grab like this. So she was like, here. And so I'm like, here. But she actually made me grab out. I took the putty out of the container and I just did this for about 3 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, ever since I found out that my grip test wasn't that good, I've kind of just been keeping this. This has been my best friend. Heads up though, it does get on your clothes. It doesn't mess them up, but it does get on your clothes. So if you kind of like fall asleep with it in your hand like I did, then it might be in your clothes, on your pillows, it might get in your hair, you name it. So don't fall asleep with this, but it's definitely really good. You don't have to put too much work in. It just squeezes. Take a look. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And that should help you with your grip test. Just keep going. Use it every day. Anytime you bored, anytime you bored, anytime you bored. And so that you don't walk around like me, make sure that you're relaxing your arm. I actually haven't really been wearing my sling because last night my arm fell asleep in my sling, and I really want to train my arm so that I'm not doing this anymore. I feel comfortable. I take it everywhere in the car with me, but this is really good. So the next thing that I got is, ta-da! These ain't come from the physical therapy office, but it was a recommendation. They are 1 pound weights. It look like a 7 or whatever you may see, but they're 1 pound weights. And what I have to do with that is I actually just have to use my arm, come up, come down, come up, come down, come up. I do that for about 20 reps. And then when I get done with that, then I go right, left, right, left. Now I'm doing it with my arm bent for the purposes of this video, but you're supposed to do it with your arm fully extended. But this, 20 on each side. 1 pound weight. Hopefully I get to move up to 2 pounds next week. So the next thing that I got, and this did come from the physical therapist office, is a pulley. Now this right here, you actually just hang it over your door, and I am going to do an example for you. And inside of the box it looks like this. So this part here, you will hang over the door, and then one of these goes in one hand, one of these goes in the other. So I have my pulley all hooked up. You use the black part, you hang it over the door, then you just close the door, and then you have your little strings hanging. And this is what it looks like. So you sit down, you will grab this, your bad arm, go ahead and put that in there, and then you have your arm here, and you use your dominant hand to pull your weaker hand up. So, and you try to keep your elbow forward. Now again, I got the little sling arm, so my elbow on my weaker arm is not going to be forward, just to let you all know. So then you pull. Oh, and what me and Nicole always say, because again I don't have pain, is respect your tightness. Once it feels a little tight and you feel like you're going a little bit too far, then you want to respect that and come back down. And you actually want to do this for about 3 minutes. And you just keep going, and the more you do it, the more your arm goes up. Again, my goal is to have my elbow on my weaker arm in front of me, but it's not doing that right now because I got the sling arm, and I wish I didn't, but hey, you live and you learn. So these are pulleys. All right, guys, so last but not least, what I learned was table slides. So you'll do these forward and backwards for about 2 minutes, and then you'll do them at a 45-degree angle for about 2 minutes. Now, for lack of a table in this beautiful scenery, I'll be showing you forward and backwards. If you want a video of me doing it at a 45-degree angle, just go ahead and put it in the comment section below, and your girl will deliver, okay? So let's get this stuff out of the way. Typically, when you are doing your table slides, you want to have some sort of towel or rag, and I got a red one, even though I want to have a blue one. And you lay it down. So then you will put your weaker arm on the table, and sometimes you can support this arm with your strong arm just to help it along the way. What you would do is you would keep your chest forward, and you would go back and forth for about 2 minutes. So that looks like this. You want to lean in, and you go as far as you can. Remember what Nicole said, respect your tightness. And you want to lean in, and you want to come back. And what I'm doing is I'm not doing any work with my weak arm. I'm actually just kind of helping myself move this arm forward with just bending my body forward, and then when I come back, I do kind of use my stronger arm to pull it back if it's a little bit tight. So the more you do these, the better you get at them, and the more you stretch your arm out. All right. That's pretty much it for this week. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all next week to talk about my 7th week of recovery from rotator cuff surgery and my 2nd week of physical therapy. Happy 4th of July, and enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Bye bye.